Welcome to Open Minds. Welcome to Open Minds. We live. We live. We live again. Welcome everybody to the platform. Welcome everybody. Hope everybody day is going good. Hope everybody had a good day, man. I hope y'all ready for this show tonight. It's gonna be a good show tonight. Fire show. My guest finna talk to us about legal issues, how the new laws that's been passed, how people can get out of jail, and things of that nature, man. We gonna get into it. I want y'all to like, subscribe, and share this video, especially if you got somebody in legal issues or incarcerated, or you working on somebody's case or anything. Uh, Thank y'all. This Open Minds where we chill, you know what I'm saying? We sit back, we smoke something, we get good, valuable information, and we learn. We learn here, man. We give good value information and we learn. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring my guest to the stage and introduce her.
Hello,
Welcome,
hello, hello, everybody. Happy
welcome.
Friday.
Happy Friday to you. This my guest. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and let the people know what's your name and what you do.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Farrah Mitchell. I am a law shark out of the Charlotte area. I have finished all my schooling at Seton Hall, but I have not yet passed the bar, so I do want to put that out there. But I still have been practicing law for the last 19 years. I first started off helping my brothers. They were locked down in Pennsylvania for over a year with no bond. My mother paid $10,000 trying to get an attorney for them, but they were just sitting. And so I started learning legal laws, started learning case laws with Supreme Court cases and constitutional laws. And I started doing pleadings and started off first doing motions to suppress the evidence that they had, the testimonies. They had bad, corrupt cops. I started, dismissing their motions. I'm sorry, their testimony. And then from there, I went to just actual motion to dismiss. And we would work with the judge back and forth to try to get them out. And after about 3 months worth of, going back and forth with the courts, they were able to come home. So that's how I first got started. So I specialize in habitual offenders. I do nationwide expungements. So we have these new laws, like he was saying, that came out in January. And I'm just here to kind of inform everybody.
Okay. You said it took like 3 months for you to
Yeah.
get them
I
out.
mean, but they were there just sitting for a whole year.
Oh, dang. Okay, so what type of crimes do you specialize in? Like violent crimes?
Yes, violent and non-violent, but they're all felonies. Like I said, habitual offenders. For example, like for gang crimes, those are put under the RICO law. Now with these new laws, you can either go for exoneration or resentencing. They have what they call the Racial Equality Act. That's a federal act that just passed. So if you felt that the prosecutor didn't assist you correctly, a lot of times the defense attorney just made you take a plea because they said they were looking based upon your past criminal record, like when you were 17, 18. And so they said, because of this, you should go ahead and take this plea. Those who are currently incarcerated and have done that can now go for resentencing or ask to be early released. I also help with the new North Carolina reform. Our governor just signed a reform last month to help with prison reform and help people get home before the election comes. So that's been really good. Like I was able to send different motions and habeas corpus and writs of habeas corpus to help people come home and to get things off their case. So it was really a blessing to have that. But some of the laws like California is doing, they have the SB 14, and all the states are going to mimic this. But the penal codes they have to acknowledge. That's worldwide because that's a federal code. But like in California, they have an SB 1437. So that law is if myself and Open Minds, we go and do a robbery, we have a getaway driver. Open Minds shoot someone and the person dies. At one point in time, everyone was charged. Even the getaway driver was charged with murder. Now, those that were the getaway driver as well as the accomplice can go back into the courts and say, listen, with this new law, I shouldn't be charged with murder. I should either be able to go home or get a lighter sentence. So that's one of the good laws. And I always tell people to write these down and do your research because knowledge is power. Then we have the Penal Code 654. That's the fair fair jury selection. And we know that most of the time, out of the 12 jurors, they're all predominantly white, or they're from hick towns, or they don't even know our culture. So they were saying with that, under that law, if you felt that your jury selection was majority white and other races, you can now go and say, hey, I didn't even have a real fair trial because under this act.
So you saying like basically it's people locked up right now and they can basically get out on early time.
Oh
Early.
yes. So that's one of them, and even the RICO. If you had any gang enhancement, I work with a lot of Serranos. If you have any gang enhancements on your record, they can get expunged. But if you're currently incarcerated now, the Penal Code 1109 goes for those gang crimes. They can say now they no longer can say that you were associated. They can take that off, and now that's a big portion of why people can't get their gun rights back. But with these new laws, you can go and say, hey, we can go right to the governor and say, hey, I need to get my gun rights back. And specifically why I wanted to get on your show was because in Michigan, we were talking about this earlier, how really Michigan is like a 2-strike law. So that means it's saying that if you and I commit a crime, and this is where I need your followers to understand that they can make a change about this. So if you and I decide to do a crime and I go to jail, let's say it was for robbery. I go to jail, I get out, I'm on parole, whatever case. We commit another crime. I could just be an accessory. That's it, just in the car where a drive-by or something happens and somebody gets hurt. Basically in Michigan, you void the right now to having that third strike. You automatically get 25 years. And I think that is just it's just a disparity for our people, especially up there. So I want to speak out to your followers and say, you guys have to, especially before, the election comes, reach out to your senators and say, you guys have to change these laws with these mandatory sentencing in Michigan. Because it's not fair. It's so many people that are, could easily do 1 to 3 are now doing 25 to life when they should actually have another felony strike. So definitely, y'all reach out to your senators, even with these violent crimes, because they seal in Michigan, which is fine, but other states expunge. So why can't you be like the other states? California, Minneapolis, New York. You don't want anybody to be able to see it, period. Even your mug shots, even if let's say your case got dismissed, but you still have a mug shot, that should be sealed, period. But in Michigan, it still pops up. So an employer could just Google your name under the county and still see that you were charged with something, even though it may have gotten dismissed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That brings me to my question. I gotta ask. Like, dang, what was it? If you with Trump getting into office, like, do that affect the laws?
Well, again, if
If he
depending
do
on how this
do get into office, I might.
right, but it's not just about him. It's about the governors are up for election as well as these senators. So if we don't get these laws, get these expungements done now, you may not have that choice if it comes all Republican. Things might change. They might not do multiple expungements. They might say only 2 felonies or only 1 misdemeanor, 1 felony. Right now, you can pretty much get everything expunged at one time.
And how long do it take to get something expunged? Like
It's about a 30-day process.
30-day process, but
Mm-hmm.
do you got to be like completely done with your case?
Oh, yes. And all fines must be paid. Be completely done with
Fine.
your case and all fines must be paid. Yes.
I believe in Michigan it's like 7 years after your case, then you can go up to get an expunged.
I believe now with
Have
these,
you ever heard something like that?
I heard that, but now with these penal codes, long as that's in your ex parte for asking for the expungement, this should override that.
Mm. So this my next question. So it just slipped my mind again. Yeah, with the election, like, do people? They always try to tell us to think about like the president. That's the that's the big thing you should vote for. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing you should be worried about. Do you think people should worry more about the senators and senators and stuff in the state?
Yeah, and the
I think that's more
congressmen, the
important.
congressmen, the senators, those are the ones who make the laws. They are the ones that enforce it. Think about when they have the government shutdowns. If they don't come to work that day, that law doesn't get passed. So that those are the real important ones, the real lawmakers.
Hmm. So yeah, so people we be like, dang, they be in a rush to go down there to vote for the president, but it really don't make a difference never. You know what I'm saying? Really.
Yeah,
But even if they get in office, you know, some things happen. You know, get a little money and sometimes little things change, but you can change a lot of things by voting in your state.
absolutely.
And the councilmen and stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Those are the ones that make the laws, and those are the ones who allocate the money into our areas.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I kind of want to say is another reason why this is good with the expungements because you can't even get a loan, a bank loan for your business if you have a felony. You can have an $850 50 credit score, and still they will deny you.
That's that's country. That's throughout the
That's
country.
around the country. Yeah, yeah. Or they'll
So
ask for
like
cosigner.
do criminal background check. So what about the people that get out of jail? You know, they go legit and start a business. They don't get no loans.
It's hard to them for them to get loans. They may have to have a cosigner.
Mm.
So that's why this is good because you can get grants. Once you get it clear, you can start getting your grants. You can get affordable housing. You can now get better jobs and better opportunities to take care of your family. So I say even if it's old, get it off your record. Don't have it on you.
So what's the first steps of getting your record expunged if you're trying to do that?
To go to your get a certified copy from your clerk of court, wherever you were arrested at, and make sure everything is on it and it's accurate. Because I have a client now. He thought he only had one charge when they pulled him up in the system because his son's name, he's a junior. Okay, so his son's charges were coming on him. So make sure everything is accurate before you leave, and they can send it to you on the email. You can give them a call, give them all your information, your date of birth, and pay like the $8 fee. They'll email it to you.
Mm.
Yeah, so you don't even have to really go down there.
So then, do you help with that?
No, I don't. You have to get your because I wouldn't be able to verify who you are. You get what I mean? Like you have. Well, I mean, you can go to checker.com, checkr.com. But again, depending
I'm
on
talking
how
about
old
with the whole overall expungements. Like, do you help like people cases if they
yeah,
trying to?
I'm going to help you all the way through. Once you get your certified background, I say, well, let me finish this. I say go to the clerk of court because if you go to these little side places, they don't always have the penal code on there, or they don't have the actual disposition date. So it's better to go to your clerk. Once you do that, then you just email it to me. I'll go over it. If it's 1 to 3 charges, I charge 175. If it's more charges, it's 325. But I'm affordable. It's a 30-day turnaround process, and I submit an ex parte for disclosure for you on your behalf with all the different laws. And like those who have like either a lot of gun charges, multiple gun charges, I'll add different Supreme Court case laws with it. And if you have like I said, the gang enhancements, I'll add different laws in regards to that. And like I'll do even say like the state of Minnesota is doing this, and the state of California is doing this for prison reform. Governor Newsom has signed this, and Governor Roy Cooper has signed this. I'll add those other states as well to show that if they're willing to do it, why can't you do it? You get what I mean?
Mm.
I have a great success rate because like I said, I use federal laws. Not just these, but I have Supreme Court laws I use as well, depending on the crimes and the nature of the crime.
Okay, so you can go in there and you represent yourself, huh? You represent.
Yeah, and pro se is the best way to go because these for real.
Okay.
Yeah, and everything can be done through the mail, or you can go down to your clerk. I've seen people go down to after they mailed it in. I've seen them go down to the clerk office and get a judge to sign off of it in 3 weeks. That's North Carolina. I can't say what Michigan do, but it can be done. Like I will guide you through the phone. I don't just send you your stuff and that's it. We walk through this process the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so people basically can really like do it themselves. Just you know, what I'm saying it's just a little running around.
It's not just that, but see, you got to remember I use the ex partes because they can say they could deny you because you have multiple. I'm
Mm,
giving people who have habitual. That's where my focus is.
okay.
Yeah. And then in addition, I also help people who have arrears. If your child is over 18, because I feel like that's another disparity. Because how can you work if you have no license and they're towing your car? So if you have arrears of back arrears for child support and your child is over 18, I can assist you with that because there is 3 major violations with child support, and we have to talk further. But that I can assist you with that. I have Supreme Court laws. I'll give you one law: Turner versus Raymond. You guys you can look that one up. That's about child support. But yeah, it shouldn't be. If I have a client now that we're fighting for now out of New York, his children are 29 and 33. He's paying $647 a month. Yet he's taking care of his 17-year-old child as a single parent.
Mm.
So is that fair to him?
I don't think so.
So
Um,
yeah, it can be done, and I know how to do it.
so what's like the worst states that you think they like?
Kentucky, depending on if you did some, like I had one client, he did some real, stuff that could be in the paper. Let's say it like that. And they were like, "No, sir, we're not giving it to. We don't care. You can put as many laws as you want. We're not going to get it." And it was just that. It was just that simple. But he had multiple, and he had federal time. So they like, "Look, you didn't learn your lesson, so you just figure that out yourself." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do know what you mean. Yeah. So what can people do like that's into like jail to like help they self?
That definitely write a habeas corpus because that can get you back into the courtroom. I would say that. Get your Supreme Court, learn your UCC laws because that's how they operate. They operate off of UCC. Ask for if you need DNA testing for ballistics, especially if you got gun charges. Request for a DNA test. Um, Ask me more questions and I can kind of pinpoint it.
Okay. Um, I don't know.
But
I got
again, this racial equality act, though, this racial equality act, this new act is really good for that because it says, I didn't have a fair jury. My defense attorney didn't work with me. The prosecutor just said, because I had these other charges, let me just take what I could take. So that's going to be your real key, go to.
right about that.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's pretty much all I got for y'all. Make sure y'all writing y'all senators, change these laws. If anybody have any questions, I'm very easy to reach on Instagram, or you can click my link and set up a consultation after 3 p.m. And I'm willing to help. My goal is to bring these fathers home, so these children won't be hands on their knees. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this teenage pregnancy is out of control in our community. So we have to work on something.
they
And
listen to sexy red too much.
I'm sorry.
I said they listening to sexy red too much.
That part. And I just want people to have a fair chance. If you got a trucking company, you need these grants so you can, really expand, get a trailer or, things of that sort. I feel like why should you have something still on your back that you paid your time for? You done paid your fines, you done went to parole, you done finished parole, finished probation. You should be able to move on with your life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that sound good. That sound good. That's good information, man. It's good information. Y'all need to take hold of that information. If you just got some felonies sitting on your record, you know what I'm saying, and you don't know about how to go about it, she just told y'all how to go about it, man. Get it off, especially in some of these states, because they trying to get people 20 to life.
Man, listen. And also, you said some of the states real quick before we leave. Some of the he had a question. Oh,
Yeah,
well, thank you, Mr. Renegade.
they just blessing us. You can keep going for a minute.
Some of those states that are, like I said, Kentucky was one. Another state, Florida. I've seen some little issues with them, but Again, too, if you having problems, you can always, if your judge is still presiding, you can always do a prayer of judgment to your judge. And then let me say this: I got a teacher, and she messed around with her student. Let's just say what it is.
Mm.
And but she's still able to get in contact with their family. And I found out, I learned this myself. I found out that you can ask for a release of authorization for prosecution. So that she went to her first defense attorney, and he was able to contact the family and ask for a release of prosecution, a withdrawal prosecution from the family. Oh, and lastly, and then you know what? I'm going to tell y'all make sure y'all follow me, because starting on Monday, I'm going to do a series, Know Your Rights.
All
I think
right.
that should be kind of dope. Know your rights. But speaking of such, one thing I do want to say is you can handle these police much different. Well, like if they do stop you, first, you shouldn't be smoking and driving, because that gives you loses your Fourth Amendment for probable cause for search and seizure. So I don't want people to be smoking and driving. If you decide you go somewhere and you want to drink, have a drink, have a glass of water, a glass of water. If you're too intoxicated, have somebody else drive, or catch an Uber. So that's number 2. Now, again too, I want to make sure that y'all understand, once we get rid of these felonies, you can go and ask for your gun rights back. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that. In addition, if you are with your wife and you must say, I need a gun because for my protection, I've been shot before, whatever the case may be, you can have the gun registered to your wife, have it locked in the glove compartment, or locked in the trunk. And as long as she's in the car, it's not gun by felony. They can't charge you with gun by felony. But you still protected, because I know a lot of people worry about that. Y'all live in Michigan, inner city period. Let's just say inner city period. Lastly, when you do get stopped, don't give them a hard time. Give them your information. If you feel like they've done you wrong, you can always request your body cam. Okay, you can always put them on the Brady law. The Brady law states, and that's even if you are currently into a
So
court
that's
case.
in any state you can have the camera, you can start filming.
Well, no, you can film them, but they don't like that. I'm talking about if they have a body cam, if you felt like they did you wrong and they got you in court, saying, let's say you had a DUI, and they say, okay, I got a perfect example, a client. They stopped him for screeching his tires. He had a DUI, and they gave him a DUI, but he blew .7. It says on the paper he passed. The first time he passed, the second time he passed. They then took him to the substation. But on the DUI report, when he got to the substation, of course, he's more elevated. His blood pressure, his blood alcohol is there. He blew a .9 at the substation. But understand that was a 15-minute ride. So how did I beat that? One, I asked for the body cam. And 2, I told him to go from the place he was at the club. And then we're going to show the timestamp on the car. Mm-hmm. Then we did the Google map to show the distance from the place he was to the substation. So we showed that time could not be accurate because he was at another place. Then we subpoenaed the cameras at the substation to show what time he walked in. So use these to your advantage. If you feel like you know the cameras were around, wait, what did he say?
No, that's a spammer. Somebody spamming.
Oh, okay. If you know the cameras are around, make sure that you ask for them to help you with your discovery. But what I was going back to is the Brady law. If you felt like the cop was, lying on you and his whole testimony is messed up, you can ask your attorney to file a Brady law. Brady law means that he no longer can take oath in court at all. Anything that he's done, and then you can get his testimony thrown out just off of Brady law. Mm-hmm. So that can help your case, because a lot of times, and even your snitches, you can use those. You can get them thrown off on Brady law, because how credible are they? Were they paid by the police? Because these are the 2 things that can mess up: the officer's testimony and co-defendant's testimony, or informant's testimony. Right. So these are things you can get out, and people don't know that. These are things that you can get off. But that's all I have for y'all today. If y'all have any questions, I'm willing to help.
Okay, we ain't had. I guess we got on here at the wrong time. It ain't that many people, but they gonna hear it, and they got your information.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna get in contact with you, and I love to have you on
And I
here.
want you to make sure that they changing these laws up there because these girls, these kids need their parents. You
Right,
know, they
right.
need their parents.
They trying to take the black man out the household, man. The man out the household. Period. With all.
And the children too. What about you know how many women I know got these DSS cases? It's ridiculous. And they trying to pay for the core links. It's all a big scenario. They trying to pay for the core links so that the kids can talk to the parents. That's a hardship on them. They have 3 and 4 multiple children. They got trying to take care of them.
Right. I
You
try to
know.
tell people all the time, like, cause I got full custody of my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
They're with me 24/7. And people be like, "Dang, how you do that?" These men. Can you talk to them a little bit about that, like how to get rights to see their kids and stuff?
Okay, so they have to. This is how I would start off. If you've had like DV cases with multiple DV cases or a battery or the wife is called on have to call the police on you. The first thing I would do is get supervised visits, and the states will pay for free supervised visits. Okay, even at the quick trips now. They have audio and video. You can do safe exchange at your local quick trips or some of the gas stations or do it at the library. You know what I mean? Do the safe exchange. Now, if you are requesting for visitation, make sure that you are keeping all your receipts if you giving, funds to your parents, the parent, keep all the receipts. And when you do this, to say that you want visitation, you go to the court and petition for visitation. If think that the child should be removed, you can go to court. All the parents always want to, the fathers always want to call in the DSS on the mom. No, petition the court for either joint custody or full custody, like you
I,
have,
I
full custody.
joint custody. My case is rare. I tell everybody they stuff is different. I tell anybody if they got, you know what I'm saying, any type of woman that gonna handle her business, they're gonna try to go for the woman. You know what I'm saying? My
And that's okay. But if you have a job, listen to me. If you have a job, if you have support from the teachers, always make sure you go into the schools because those going to be your witnesses. If you have support from the teachers, support from the administration at school, you're at these football games, record this kind of stuff. When you taking them places, record different, where you can have like a whole journal log. Your Honor, I picked up a child on the
buy
13th.
everything, buy
Huh?
everything, buy everything with Cash App, and that transaction list will be right there.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, what if they got like,
Talk
what?
up a little louder.
Can you hear? I'm sorry. I said, what if they got like charges and stuff like they got felonies and they can't.
That don't matter. You still, if you have a job and you have somewhere for that child to live, you can still go and petition for your child.
Cause I heard it's a law to where like for people like who got drug charges, they can't
Mm-hmm.
take kids. Like
That don't matter. That's the hearsay. That do not matter. If you are a stable parent, you can have joint custody or you can have full custody of your child if you petition the court.
all
And you
right,
don't need no lawyer. A lot of you got to remember, YouTube tells you a lot about family law. Study YouTube. You'll understand how to defend yourself in court. But receipts and journals is everything. Start a journal. I picked up my child on this day. I was at the school on that day. How can they deny you? I
mm-hmm.
don't care about you got felonies. I got a job. I've been on my job 2 years, Your Honor.
Can you also let the men know that child support don't got nothing to do with family court? Some people be scared to go down there because some dudes be
No,
down there.
it does not. It's two separate entities.
They feel like they feel like, oh, I owe money, so they ain't gonna let me see them anyway. So so
No.
they can't
And
go.
then again, too, if you're nervous about your situation, always you can always say, I will have my mother be the sole guardian, or my sister be the sole guardian, and still petition. Have her be sole, you be co-parent. You get what I mean, like the secondary parent.
Mm-hmm.
Have a stable body. It's just like buying a car. Have a stable body, be the main principal, and you're secondary. So
Yeah,
that eliminates that. Yeah.
you're
So did
right.
I drop some jewels on y'all?
Yeah, you definitely did. You definitely.
Throw some diamonds in the chat, right? But yeah, definitely hit me up. I'm gonna get some rest now. I'm tired, y'all. But I appreciate the platform. I'm here for y'all. I want our people to win.
There you
Thank you,
go.
Mr. Renegade. And y'all be easy.
Okay, you too, man. Y'all have a nice night, man. Like and subscribe to the channel. Go
Yes, sir,
follow.
I will.
Let me know if y'all want her back on the show to let y'all know some more gems on this topic. And it's been another episode. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate
All right, thank you for having me. Much love.
you. Yep,
I
you too.
always do this. This is my exit. Have a good weekend, y'all.
You too, man. Be safe, everybody.
Bye bye.